With a 64 megapixel primary camera, up to 24 gigabytes of RAM, and a whopping 11,000 mAh battery, the Oukitel WP35 certainly ticks a lot of boxes and even comes at a low price point. So how does it perform? Let's take a look. So full disclosure before we get started, the video is sponsored by Oukitel and they've sent me the WP35 for free to showcase to you guys. So if we go ahead and turn it on, from the minute you pick this up, you can feel how sturdy and well built it is, and of course, that's exactly what we want from a rugged phone. It's got a nice bit of weight to it at 360 grams, and it definitely feels like it's going to survive its fair share of drops and falls, but it's also not too heavy and it's comfortable to hold for a rugged phone. It comes with a screen protector pre-installed for those that want it, but personally I'm just not a fan of them, so I took that straight off. It also comes with a case, which I have been using when out and about with the phone, but I'll take it off for this review. But you can see we've got a 6.6-inch IPS display on the front with a water drop notch to house the 32 megapixel selfie camera. The screen is nice and responsive, and while it's not the brightest at 450 nits, it's sharp and detailed with a resolution of 1080 by 2408, and it's a perfectly acceptable display for a budget-friendly phone in this price bracket. The display uses Gorilla Glass 5 protection, and the outer frame protrudes past the display for extra protection, and it's got a nice soft rubbery feel to it. And then we've got a metal frame where the buttons are, and over on the right we've got two volume buttons and the power button, and then on the left hand side we've got a shortcut button and the SIM tray, and this also holds a micro SD card and it supports up to 2 terabytes. Now heading over to the rear, you'll notice the diamond pattern design, and I'll leave it to you to decide what you think about it when it comes to looks, but it's actually really comfortable to hold and it's a great texture for added grip. Now you can see we've got 3 cameras on the back, and that's a 64 megapixel primary camera. It uses the Sony IMX682, which is a 1/1.73 inch sensor. We've then got an 8 megapixel IR night vision camera and then a 2 megapixel macro camera for the close shots, but we'll cover more on the cameras shortly. Now on the hardware side, it's powered by MediaTek's Dimensity 6100 Plus, and this is a 6nm chipset. It also comes with 256 gigs of storage with 8 gigabytes of physical RAM, and you've also got the option to expand it to 24 gig using storage. Now it's running Android 14 out of the box, and for those concerned with synthetic benchmarks, over on Geekbench 6 we get 674 for single core, and then 1878 for multi-core, and then over on 3DMark's Wildlife benchmark it gets a score of 1185. Now for those of you wanting to do some mobile gaming, I installed Call of Duty Mobile, which plays very well. It's smooth and it's responsive and an enjoyable experience overall. And here I've got the graphics quality set to medium, the frame rate set to medium, and then the graphic style set to realistic. Now we also played Asphalt 9, where again it runs great. It's smooth and responsive, and I've got the visual quality set to default, but for those of you that want to do a bit of casual mobile gaming, then it's not going to let you down. When it comes to photography, we get some decent images, and it's pretty impressive for a rugged phone. For photos, you get a choice of shooting in the normal mode, which delivers 4624 by 3472 resolution images, or if you need the maximum detail you can get, there's also a 64 megapixel mode, and this delivers photos with a resolution of 9248 by 6944. It uses the Sony IMX682 64 megapixel sensor, and overall I'm happy with the photos for a phone in this price range. There's plenty of detail in the shots, and it's also not oversaturated or over-processed like we see in many other phones. We also get reasonable selfies from the 32 megapixel selfie camera, and overall it's a reasonable phone for photos. We've got the 8 megapixel night vision camera, which delivers images that look like this when it's completely pitch black. Then we've also got the macro camera that's going to deliver shots like this. For videos, we get reasonable quality, and we can record up to 1440p at 30 frames a second, so we'll just take a look at the video samples now. So this is the video from the rear camera at 1440p. It doesn't actually say the refresh rate, so I have to check on the computer and I'll put that up on the screen. If we just do a slow pan, and pan a bit quicker back this way. There's no optical stabilization on this either, so if I just do a run, you can get an idea of what the stabilization is going to be like. And that's the video at 1440p. So now we're at 1080p, again primary camera. It doesn't say the refresh rate, but I'll put that on screen once I check on the computer. So slowly walking forward here, I'll just do a slow pan. And then back again a bit more quickly. Then we'll do a little jog. And there you go, that's 1080p from the rear camera. Now this is a selfie camera at 1080p. That's actually the maximum for the selfie camera. Again, I don't know how many frames per second we're recording in, but I'll put that up on the screen when I check on the computer. You just do a bit of a pan. And then we'll do a little jog. See what the stabilization is like. And that's the video quality from the selfie camera. When it comes to the software, it all works well. And I do like that while we do have some useful tools and apps pre-installed, it's not packed full of bloatware, although it is worth noting that the pre-installed apps cannot be removed. But on this, we've got the usual Google apps, we've got a torch, we've got FM radio, QR scanner, child mode, game mode, pedometer, and the tool bag. Now the tool bag is a great feature for rugged phones and it offers plenty of things you might need when you're out and about, like you've got a plumb bob, a protractor, a picture hanger, a sound meter, and more. We've also got an easy launcher which makes everything nice and easy to press, and you can create custom shortcuts for apps or contacts. I can see this being very useful while working and you need to quickly use your phone and just use it as a phone. We've got fingerprint unlock as well as face unlock, and both of them work well to unlock your phone nice and quickly. And then we've also got the ability to expand the memory and use storage as additional RAM for those that need it, and it can be extended an extra 16 gigabytes. Powering the device is an 11,000 mAh battery, and the WP35 achieves an excellent balance between slimness, weight, and battery life. This translates to 60 days of standby time and 75 hours of talk time, and while maintaining a relatively thin and light profile for a rugged phone. This is a rare feat in the world of rugged smartphones and is pretty cool to see. Now it's also IP68 and IP69K water and dust resistant, meaning wherever you take this, you're not going to damage it. And to top it off, we've got the MIL standard 810H certification, so you know it's going to be able to withstand some drops and falls. Now when it comes to pricing, it's currently on Oukitel's website for just $229.99 instead of $300. When you consider everything that the phone offers, that's a pretty decent price. You can choose a UK, US, or EU plug, and the price remains the same for all of the regions. And of course, I've got the green version here, but it's also available in grey or coffee colours. And I would say if you're in the market for a rugged phone, then I'd highly recommend checking it out. Now hopefully I've covered everything for you in today's video, but if there's anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech.